love house, y'all. Because we all love music. We in this house. They call it house, but it's a love house, y'all.
Give me a light. Welcome, everyone, to the 2023 Department of Defense Warrior Games Challenge, hosted by the U.S. Army. It's a picture-perfect Day 5 here at the Naval Air Station, North Island in San Diego, California, as we get ready for indoor rowing. We're at the halfway point of the event, and we've seen some amazing competition. Today's action will continue to bring the excitement as the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and U.S. Special Operations Command will compete for gold in this up-and-coming sport. It's indoor rowing, and it's coming your way next.
Good morning and welcome to the 2023 Department of Defense Warrior Games Challenge. I am Tina Dixon, and today it is all about the rowing. You can see the station set up behind me. There are a lot of them. It's going to be a great day. Now, we are on Day 5 of 10. We've already seen many of these athletes competing earlier in the week. They've already won some medals, but that just helps fuel the competition out here. So before we get started, as host of the 2023 Department of Defense Warrior Games Challenge, the U.S. Army is committed to sharing the story, dedication to all the athletes competing here today, as well as the hundreds of thousands that they represent. So before we get started, let's take a quick message from the U.S. Army.
The soldiers of the U.S. Army stand watch, around the clock, across the globe. They face a uniquely challenging lifestyle. That's where U.S. Army family and morale, welfare, and recreation plays a critical role, with programs designed to enhance their quality of life. Corporate partnerships with Army MWR are a powerful tool to weave your brand into military life experiences of today's well-educated and brand-loyal soldiers. Build your brand with the strength of the U.S. Army.
And a very big hello. Welcome to DoD Warrior Games Naval Air Station, North Island out here. Coronado Peninsula. We're talking Day 5 of 10 full days of competition. Today it's rowing competition, and I got Pat Parnell back. We did powerlifting together, but now we're back together again. We got the original crew together, and here we go. It's all about rowing competition, something you know a little bit about.
A little bit, and I'll tell you what, it's even more exciting when we've seen so many of these athletes. You mentioned powerlifting. I had the good fortune to follow wheelchair rugby, and we're seeing a lot of those athletes. I'm excited to see how Sturgis does. He was on the Marine Corps team, put up a valiant effort out on the court, but today, as we mentioned, it's all about rowing. We're going to be watching the catch, the drive, the finish, and the recovery. Going to be kind of spelling that out throughout the broadcast of today's competition and teaching maybe a thing or two. And we've got a lot of different classifications, people of different levels, the 4-minute and the 1-minute to look at. So a lot of action coming our way.
I'm still stuck on you talking about rugby right there. How cool was that? They hit, don't they? There's some collisions going on out there.
The contact was off the charts, but you really start to see the tactic. It was basketball rules with hockey penalties, with like a little bit of demolition derby thrown into the mix. And so a lot of those athletes are here today after just back-to-back days of games. Same thing, track and field. You had players out there, and now they're right back at it, at a different discipline. It's so cool to see.
And, we talk about the competition, 2 major events that we're going to see out here today. We have a 1-minute sprint, and then we're going to have a 4-minute race competition. Now, these athletes can compete in both. And how is that on what a toll it takes on you, especially after competing for 4 straight days, and then you want to try and do 2 competitions a day? Is there a way to do this and still be able to be successful?
Well, clearly, we're seeing some multiple gold medalists, and I think we expect to see that again today. And it's really how you approach the 4-minute, leaving a little something in the tank, if whether they're coming in with the 1-minute or the 4-minute first. But just be smart with what you leave in the tank and leave it all out here.
Well, we're talking about 8 classifications. We talk about 2 different style races, the 1-minute sprint, the 4-minute race competition. A lot going on. It's the rowing competition. We have 2 days of archery starting tomorrow. Make sure you tune in at the same time on the West Coast, 8 a.m. for that. Saturday and Sunday will be swimming. Start at 7 a.m. start for those. And Monday, we'll wrap it up next Monday for shooting. So a lot going on. And these athletes are ready to go, and we've been treated to a very fun time. I was part of it in 2018, and being part of it now and seeing the stories and the inspirational stories and seeing the inspirational performances, it's pretty amazing stuff, and we're going to witness it here again today.
You know what? Every day, it's just the stories of resilience, and the more athletes I get to meet from all the different teams, whether it be, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, SOCOM.
Yeah.
All their stories are so compelling, and it's great to see them just flourish in their each and individual disciplines. And we're about to kick things off here with indoor rowing. I'm very excited.
So we start with the 4-minute race. This will be, and we'll have looks like 6 competitors in this one. And they're not all racing each other because there's different classifications in this one, as the racers are locked and loaded here and ready to start the first 4-minute race of the day here at Department of Defense Warrior Games.
Attention. Row.
And we are off, and we're officially underway. We are looking at, in lane number 2, Kyle Higginbotham, Sport Class 3. We have, from the Marine Corps, we have Serfina Jaregui from the Sport Class 5.0 U Men. And then over on 7, Teddy St. Pierre representing Sport Class 5.0 U. We also have Ivan Morera for SOCOM in 8. Chugawski representing the Marine Corps in the 10th lane, and we got Pierre Sturgis wrapping it up in 11 right there. Oh, in lane 12.
So a couple of things to look for, those that are new to rowing. Obviously, breath matters. We'll get into that, but it's really the 4 phases: catch, drive, finish, and recovery. If you can think about it in the coordinated movement of knees, hips, and elbow in that order, that is going to produce the best results. And that catch is where you're down low. You want to make sure that the chain is not too low, where you have to come up and over the knee. You're getting the majority of your power from the leg motion, keeping that back nice and straight on the catch as you move back, and then getting that. It's almost like a snap of the hips when you get to that point where you do that finish. It's that snap. Think of it almost as in a golf swing.
Yeah. Love that. Giving you the update right now, about 1 minute and 15 into it. Our race between Jargue and St. Pierre and Morera right now, it looks like St. Pierre holding the lead there. That's a race within itself. You look at this race going on right now, there's actually going to be 4 gold medals handed out here, because we have 4 different classes happening at the same time in this race. And we 5, 7, and 8 are racing each other. 2, 10, and 12 are on their own program right now.
Yeah, so based on the classification, a guaranteed medal, and you see right there in the front of your screen, that is Pierre Sturgis. Watched him in wheelchair rugby, just as I mentioned at the top of the show. Just such an incredible athlete, so much drive, so much tenacity, and bringing it here to the rowing. We're watching these numbers start to come in.
Well, Teddy St. Pierre in the 5.0 U men's class, he's got the lead for the gold right now. So he's trying to take that gold over Serfino, who's sitting in the bronze medal situation. And you got Ivan Morera right now sitting in the silver medal for SOCOM in lane 8.
And appropriately, Teddy representing Coast Guard, fast when it comes to rowing. Shocker, right?
Yeah, right. That's a reach, Pat.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us here at the Naval Air Station North Island, Coronado Peninsula. Day 5 of our competition of 10 days. Rowing competition underway. Pat Parnell, Brad J. with the call.
And still out front,
yeah,
Teddy.
Under 1 minute left here in this 4-minute race.
You can see Ivan gaining a little ground on Teddy, and then just pulls back. Want to keep nice and steady.
Keep it nice and steady. Did you just say that? Teddy's keeping nice and steady. I like it. Morera looks like is in that silver medal position right now. Number 5. Jargue falling back, but he'll be in the bronze, it looks like, as this thing gets to 20 seconds left. A little bit of a pull right now. Teddy is really trying to fight off Morera.
Wow, right. Have a battle right now, right in the finish of this race.
This is what's
so
coming
tight.
down to it.
5 seconds. Ivan.
Look at this.
He's pulling away.
1. And that is time. So Teddy St. Pierre fought him off. Ivan Morera will settle for the silver. And Serafina Jargui from the Marine Corps will come away with that bronze on that one. And a gold for number 2. Kyle Higginbotham for the Navy. Gold for number 10, lane 10. That was Dimitri Chugwasi. We'll grab the goal on that one. So good racing action so far here in our rowing competition.
Great to see that battle right at the end. We thought that Teddy was going to lose the handle and not be able to get all the way to the finish there without taking the top spot. But we'd love to see that where it just comes down to the end. You got to save that in the tank and bring it home.
So we'll be getting underway here with the next flight number 2. And this will be another 4-minute race, and we'll have the legend that is Heather C. Lover representing the Air Force, Sport Class 2. She'll be in this one. And we'll have Lauren Montoya for SOCOM, Sport Class 5.5L. And then you look at Morgan Spencer for the Marines, Sport Class 5, racing against Teresa Lewis, Sport Class 5 for the Army. So those two racing each other on this one. So we'll put 4 of them up there. Okay, I'm loving this, Bat.
Yep, jumping back to the second row. It's a nonstop rowing action. Great way to kick it off. It's exciting to see Sturgis transfer his tenacity from the wheelchair rugby onto the rowing.
Now, do you feel that, these competitors that we're looking at today, do you think they will get out there and row on the water too as well? This is more of a workout for them so they can prepare for when they're on the water? Or what do you think? What's your
Definitely,
thoughts on that?
There's a training component of it, but I spoke to a few of the athletes, and they do get out and row.
On the water.
Yeah, so handful of them. It is such a great training device to row. I mean, it does so much for the quads, the legs, the lower back,
don't you have
the shoulders.
Wasn't there some history, a story that you told me about rowing today and yourself?
Well, I did. I'm glad you brought it up, Brad. I did want to try out for crew. I showed up at opening day, it was like tryout day. Yep. I walk up, and the guy just looks at me, kind of goes head to toe, and he goes, "Nope." And I was like, "What? You're not even going to let me?" He's like, "You're too short." This is for full crew. Coxswain in the boat.
Yeah.
It's for Orange.
Wait, the
OCC.
coxswain is not the person who yells at everybody?
Yeah,
that's the person, right? Does that person
you're too big for that. Too big.
Yeah, you have to be a little guy, right?
yeah, but it's just it's all about a wingspan makes a huge difference. Just having 2, 3 inches.
Could you have done that job? Could you have been the guy?
No, I'd be too big. So I'm I'm kind of in this purgatory, this rowing purgatory, if you will.
Well, I'm glad we got you announcing because we would have lost a great announcer to crew.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, you look at the fact that we're on the indoor rowing, but it really gives you a chance to kind of perfect and hone your technique when you're not out on the kinetic environment, dealing with chop and dealing with the elements.
Yeah, a little different here. You're on a cement pad. You have a DJ pumping out some good movement. DJ
Skippo keeping the energy alive and well here at the Department of Defense Warrior Games. And it's great. We started talking about it when we just arrived at the competition today. We're just by the end of today, we're only midway. We've got 5 more days of just incredible battles going on.
I feel like it's already been 10 days, in a good way, because
so much incredible competition.
And you really got to give credit to a lot of the volunteers and the people behind the scenes really helping out and helping with all of our Warriors, too, as well. And if you're looking for all the information, there is a YouTube page for Warrior Games. So if you want to watch some of the past programs, you can actually relive powerlifting that you and I announced together by going to the Warrior Games YouTube page and checking that stuff out.
Man, there's some incredible lists. Thinking back at that, there's so much weight being thrown over the head.
We just had a seagull fly over. I don't know if that was planned. I think it looks like the seagulls from the water, so they're just kind of dripping a little water on us. Oh my gosh!
So moving back to the next row. Sport Class 5.5L, Sport Class 5, and Sport Class 2.
So it's been fun watching. One of them in this one is Heather Sealover, who's for the Air Force. She is in lane 15, and she has been fun to watch.
Yeah. So on that catch portion, as they start off, you want your arms nice and straight, headed in that neutral position. Shoulders are level. You don't want to be hunched. That's a big mistake that a lot of people make. Upper body leaning forward with the hips, forward from the hips, I should say. And keeping those shins vertical, as close to vertical as you can be comfortable with.
When you go forward, right?
Yeah, on that catch part. In the drive, you start the drive by pressing your legs. It's like I said, so much power comes from the legs.
The drive, as you pull towards you, is the drive?
Swing back through the vertical position.
Okay.
And then getting that just super, just dedicated on the arm pull. Hands move in, straight line. And it's we talk about the catch, the position. A lot of people think they're high enough with the hands, but you got to keep them higher than you think. You got to get that clean right above the knees. And easier said than done. Keep those shoulders relaxed. But when you're digging in, it's
you're giving a lot of advice, and I think don't know if I could be able to keep up with all that. It takes a while.
You're a barrel chested individual, my friend. You definitely give me a run for my money.
I could yank on that thing.
All right, and we are off.
So looking at in this one, Heather Sealover. We have Lauren Montoya for SOCOM. Looks like we only have 3 out on this one, so we're missing 1 here. Lewis, Sealover, and Spencer. So Morgan Spencer and Teresa Lewis, they are definitely racing each other, and Spencer in the lead there for the gold, with Lewis in the silver, and Sealover racing on her own, and she's in that lane 15 with 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in this 4-minute race.
Now Spencer Morgan doing a great job, or Morgan Spencer I should say, doing a great job at just, if you look at how consistent her speed is, there's no wavering, staying nice and steady.
And that's the key, right? That's what you want to do. You don't want to be in these bursts of speed and then you're slowing down and you're laboring at that point.
Not when you're looking at this amount of time. I mean, it's on its face value, it sounds easy, but once you're in by 2.5 minutes, I mean, you're just crushed if you're going full out.
And right now they're at that point, just that 2 minute, that halfway mark right now. You see the current paces from all 3 of the competitors right now. As you can see down the right side of your screen. And Spencer right now on way to gold if she can stay in front. She's got a big lead over Lewis. They're racing in the same class. They're in the Sport Class 5 for the women. Sealover is in the Sport Class 2, so she is on her own in lane 15 here. And she's been quite dominating this.
Wow, and just I'm just so impressed with the fortitude, Lewis, and the pull she's getting. How clean, one arm and just showing. It's like that tenacity we talk about.
Well, you said it with the current pace. I mean, I've been watching the pace ever since you brought that into the program, and she's been holding that pace within just a notch or two the whole entire time.
Yeah.
205, 207. Now you see her kind of dropping off a little bit now. You see that energy wavering a little bit. Now under 2 minutes for that pace.
Albeit ever so slightly.
40 seconds remain in this one.
And that last drive, the push. Wow, and all rowers showing no signs of slowing down here in the last 20 seconds.
There we go.
That 800-meter mark.
Spencer in that number 1 spot for the gold. Lewis sitting in the silver. Sea Lover keeping that pace going. Here we go. 5 seconds remain. 4, 3, 2, 1. And this one is done. Morgan Spencer taking the gold. Sea Lover grabbing gold in her category as well. And Teresa Lewis, the silver.
Yeah, Lewis still taking a couple extra pulls on the end there. Didn't get enough. You have to love the spirit. Just so impressed with the technique.
Thanks for joining us online and home. Let some friends know they can watch it too as well. Share the URL, DODWarriorGames.com. And for the results too as well, if you want results from some of the past 5 days, you can get those results right there on the website. And if you want to watch past competition, check out the YouTube page as well. Warrior Games YouTube page, you can watch some of the other competition you may have missed. Tomorrow we'll be on at 8 a.m. with archery tomorrow morning, and Friday, Saturday and Sunday swimming will start at 7 a.m. and Monday shooting will start at 7 a.m. and this is West Coast time. So join us back for all on the DODWarriorGames.com website. Pat Purnell, Brad J. This next race is going to be a good one, Pat. Flight number 3. They're all in the same category. So everyone racing in this one, this is for all the marbles, the bronze, silver, gold.
And this is when you have it set up in the lane where it's back to back. This is going to be kind of the most contested, one of the most contested classes we're going to see all day. This is going to be really, really exciting. We've got Marine Corps, SOCOM, Navy, Air Force, all represented here.
So looking at this one, kind of give you the rundown here. Let you know who's in it. Lane number 3, Marine Corps, Alejandro Ramirez. And lane number 4, Zach Polega for SOCOM. Jesse Tamares from the Navy in lane 5. Harley Meagley for SOCOM in 6. Greg Walker doing it for the Air Force in lane 7. Joshua Martin holding it down for SOCOM in 8. Kyle Kitzman for the Navy in 9. Brent Sealing for Air Force in 10. And Jackson Williams, the man right there, SOCOM, doing it in lane number 11. So 9 in this one. Here we go. The battle for the gold, the battle for the silver, the battle for the bronze. The sport class 5.5L men. Locked and loaded.
Waiting for the call. We are off as we watch our screen and see who is pulling away. And Williams getting definitely the push off the gate, but getting some good challenge from Kitzman. Wow. These guys are flying right now. Already at the 100-meter mark.
So right now I'm looking at Williams in that number 1 spot. Then you got to look at Martin holding it down right there around the number 2.
Yeah.
And then 7, that's going to be Walker. So Walker, Martin, and Williams right now.
Now watch Williams. If you see how smooth, look at the drive. His catch is up high. He's pulling back. Shoulders pinch slightly, and then just his recovery is textbook right now.
And look at the battle now. Walker kind of edging out over Martin. So Walker and Martin now in the 1 and 2 in the bronze. Williams sitting in the bronze right now. But that battle between Walker and Martin. And now look at this, number 4 coming up on Polega.
Well, and then Williams now starting to edge up. I mean, with 2:45, still so much time in this race. Great battle right now with Martin and Williams, but a little chance for Polega.
And Walker's starting to fade a little bit. Walker was in that top 3 for a while. Now he's dropped down into the 4th spot in lane number 7. But look at the battle between Polega. Look at the battle between Martin and Williams right now. All 3 of them battling, Pat.
Well, you can see the focus, the steely focus of Williams. Jackson Williams keeping it so smooth, steady, hasn't broken form since the get-go. Still out in, barely in the front, but getting that challenge by Kitzman.
But you're right. I mean, his pole has just been so solid. Everything he's done, his pace has been different. You look at a lot of the other rowers, and they're a little choppier. He's not choppy.
Yeah.
He's really holding it down. Jackson looking solid here, and now increasing his lead over Palega.
Yeah. But Williams doing a great job utilizing that upper body strength when we talk about the drive and knowing how to snap back, keeping those arms nice and straight. And then, like I said, the finish into his recovery, getting that snap and then bringing it back nice and high, resetting the catch.
And you got to give it up. Walker held in there for a while, for about 2 minutes of that race, but he has now dropped off, and he's battling for the 4th, 5th, and 6th spot now. But Williams is now kind of running away with it. He's increasing that lead over Palega and over Martin.
You can see a little bit of movement from Palega, though, trying to inch up. Now at 1,000 meters, under the 49-second mark, Williams still flying, finding his extra gear. Fierce focus.
35 seconds on the clock. Williams in the lead right now for the gold. Martin in the bronze. Palega sitting in the silver right now with 25 seconds to go.
So a very, very tight battle for silver. Will it be silver or bronze for Palega?
Can Palega hold off? Palega sitting in the silver. Williams is already going to get the gold. 3, 2, 1. Palega will claim the silver. Williams with the gold and Martin with the bronze.
Unbelievable finish as Williams trying to get some air. He was feeling the burn. What a performance by Williams. No questioning. The second that started, Williams set the pace and did not relent from start to finish.
So unofficially on that one, Jackson Williams will grab the gold. Zach Palega will grab silver, and Joshua Martin will grab the bronze. Unofficial at this point.
Well, we had the treat of having Williams, rowing right in front of us, so he kind of locked and loaded. You could see the intensity in his eyes. Just locked into that screen. He was completely aware of what he needed to do and what he needed to maintain. They're locked into those screens.
And what you brought up to me made me really watch. I started watching what Williams was doing, and like you're saying, his catch was so solid, his drive was so solid. And you looked at other competitors, and they were a little choppier. So I understand that.
All that, any mistake in terms of, and you add it up after 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it has this kind of cascading effect on your time and the energy that you're outputting.
Well, that was awesome. That's not awesome right there. I'll tell you that right
That's
now.
The opposite of not awesome.
I'm telling you. Sport Class 6 for the women, 4-minute race will be the next one we get into. That's going to be flight number 4 here, Department of Defense Warrior Games on the Coronado Peninsula.
Okay, flight 4 in the back here. We're going to have a coxswain. Raise your hands, coxswain, so I can tell.
Let's check in with the third member of our team, Tina Dixon, standing by. Tina, who do you got with you?
Yeah, and that was a tight battle amongst all the competitors, especially between that silver and bronze. Zach, you're going to take that silver medal, but how intense was that race for you?
Yeah, it was intense. I was definitely feeling it come minute 2, and obviously I pushed it at the end. But Josh, he's one of our teammates, and so at the end of the day, for SOCOM to take numbers 1 through 4 is just a huge victory across the board for the team. So excited about it.
In a race like that where it's so intense, how do you even pace yourself?
Yeah, so I don't know if there's necessarily a pace when it comes to sprinting, but I think you try and figure out normally where you hit your max effort point, and you dial it back a little bit and then try and pick it up at the end. So there's a little bit of strategy involved in there, but at the end of the day, you just got to remember why we're doing it, and that propels you to keep moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done there, and it was such a fun one to watch as well, Brad.
Thank you so much, Tina. Yeah, catching up with Zach right there, the silver medalist. Nicely done. SOCOM 1 through 4, not so bad. Here we go, back into the action here. We're getting right back into it. So sport class 6 for the women now. We have Cynthia Gore in lane number 16 for the Army. Gabby Varhola in lane 17 for the Navy. Rhoda Vargas for the Air Force in lane 19. Anna Walker, lane 20 for the Army. Lindsay Batista, lane 21 for the Navy. Veronica Jones, lane 22 for the Army. Mary Garza, Navy, lane 23. Giselle Rama, Navy, lane 24. Army. Melesse Togia, Army, lane 25, and lane 26, Navy, Kaylin Bedell. And there are your racers. Boom. What do we got going on, Pat?
Well, Togia in the lead at the moment, but what a battle we are witnessing. Garza and Lewis.
Wow, yeah, Togia. I think Togia comes from the Hawaiian Islands, so might have some rowing experience in that background right there. Togia in the number 1 spot. It looks like the battle is for the silver and the bronze, Pat, with Lewis and Garza.
Yeah, Garza, Lewis switching back and forth with 2.5 on the clock. Anything can happen, but Togia just blistering pace, now hitting the 400-meter mark. And that battle back and forth, it's switching between Garza and Lewis. Just outside of the podium right now, a chance for Vargas.
Oh, look at this.
Oh,
Garza.
Garza now jumping to the lead, albeit ever so slightly. Togia right behind, a neck and neck. We're talking inches between these rowers. And now Togia down to third, back to second, go to third. Garza in the lead, maintaining now under the 2-minute mark, Brad. This is unbelievable.
Oh, look at Garza starting to pull up a little bit now. Lewis fighting it off in that second spot. So you got Garza sitting in gold, Lewis sitting in silver, Togia sitting in bronze. But look out, because here comes Vargas. Vargas trying to challenge Togia here and take over that third spot. I think she's going to get it. She does.
Now Vargas in bronze medal position, still out front. Garza with that solid drive. Looking just unstoppable.
Look at the lead that Garza is opening up now.
Garza saving a little bit in the tank and is going to finish strong. We talk about the catch drive, the finish, and the recovery, but the finish, this last 60 seconds, what does she have left in the tank?
Where did that come from? Is that like just a turbo mode? I have no idea.
You call it a second wind, a third wind. Clearly had something left in the tank for this last minute, but still a tight battle with silver and bronze medal hanging in the balance between Vargas, Lewis, and Jones. Jones just outside as we see Jones now starting to make a play in the last 30 seconds. They know now Jones in bronze medal position coming out of virtual nowhere, really making up for so much lost ground there. Now Jones in silver medal position with 20 seconds left on the clock.
The clock winding down. Garza in the lead by far. 15 seconds on the clock. Jones sitting in the silver. Vargas sitting in the bronze. But Lewis wants some action. Here comes Lewis. Lewis is trying to play it. Now Lewis has moved up into the bronze.
Bronze with 3, 2, 1.
Garza with the win, the gold. Jones will grab the silver, and Lewis will grab the bronze. Wow, that was good stuff.
I have never seen a battle like that, and the amount of ground that Lewis was able to make up in that last minute and a half of the 4 minute, I was just astounded. Incredible. grasping the bronze away from Vargas. Hats off to Garza, too. What a performance. Just trying to, all that lactic acid, the burn, lots of pain involved. At that intensity, that pace.
That's what you want to see. Leave it all.
Having a moment.
I'd say leave it all in the water, but this is
they're absorbing and then really enjoying the moment. So impressive.
I'm pretty darn fired up for this next one coming up because we got flight number 5 on the way. And this one is going to be a battle royale of the sport class 6 men. We'll be going at it in this one. It is going to be awesome. We got some strong ones in this one. In the Army, lane number 1, Timothy Capps. Lane number 2, Marine Corps, we have Rosendo Gutierrez. Lane number 3, Navy, Eric Cruz. Lane number 4, Marine Corps, Michael Scott. Lane number 5 for the Army, Bill Anderson. And lane number 6, Colin Almond for the Marine Corps. Lane 7, Andrew Garcia. Aaron Gomez, lane 8 for the Coast Guard. Jeffrey and Josh Connell, Navy, lane 10. Xavier Cardona, Marine Corps, lane 11. And Jason Brown, Air Force, lane 12, Marine Corps, lane 13. That's going to be William Pizarca. This is Sport Class 6 of the men.
So remember what I said earlier, Brad, about that was going to be the most contested competition. I should say flight. Scratch that. It's like flight. What I'm seeing, the amount that I'm seeing in every one of these flights.
Well,
now,
let me bring in some Caps. Absolutely amazing yesterday. I think 3 golds in track. He's one to watch. Joshua Connell, he's one to watch.
My eye is on Aaron Gomez in lane 8 for the Coast Guard. An incredible wheelchair rugby player. Was doing it for Navy. They grabbed the silver medal.
But I'm looking
against the Air Force.
I'm looking at his all-around comfort level, and I'm looking at guys that have won a lot of medals out here. So that's where I'm looking at too. So
my money's on Gomez in terms of approach here, and
let's see how it goes.
Out of the gate, we see Pizarca leading the push, but getting some good challenge from Brown. And right there in silver medal position, Gomez looking awfully strong.
But you got to look at Cardona right now. Cardona is the one holding down that lead. Cardona in 11th right now. So Cardona in the number 1 spot right now. In the number 2 spot, Gomez. The number 3 spot, Scott. So Cardona number 1 right now. Gomez number 2. Scott number 3.
And Gomez gaining a little ground for that gold medal position. Cardona really maintaining a blistering pace as well. And just out in bronze medal position, you see Scott just behind Gomez.
Plenty of time on the clock. 2 minutes and 30 seconds ticking away right now with Cardona sitting in gold, Gomez sitting in silver, and Scott sitting in bronze. In that 4 spot, Josh Connell in 4th. Pay attention to him. And Caps in 5. These guys are athletes. They can get her done. Right now, Cardona's the one getting it done in that gold. Representing the Marine Corps.
Cardona just a relentless pace, but Gomez able to stay in step as they hit the 600-meter mark, now under 2 minutes. And this is where you're gonna see, we've seen it before, what do they have left for that last drive, the last 45, 30 seconds can tip the scales. We've seen bronze medal be snatched away at the last second, but it's all about the gold right now. Can Gomez catch Cardona? Minute 30.
with that amount of time, I just don't see that possible of him doing that. I think Cardona's going to run away with this, but he's still got plenty of time to do it. But the wheels would definitely have to fall off the boat for him not to be able to pull that off. Cardona, number 1 spot, sitting in gold. Gomez, number 2 spot, sitting in silver. Scott sitting in that bronze. And just behind is going to be Connell in 4th and Capps in 5th. There's your top 5 right now with 1 minute, 9 seconds to go.
And a good battle right now with Connell trying to move into bronze medal position and take it away from Scott. Still a chance there, and you did point out Gomez, a lot of distance to make up for. Cardona at this point now hitting the 50-second mark. Little chance for Gomez to make up that distance.
There is a battle between Capps right now in that number 5 spot and Connell in the number 4 spot.
And a lot of movement right now by Scott, now starting to gain on Gomez. Will Gomez lose the silver medal here in the last 30 seconds? If Scott can really turn it up right now. Cardona just maintaining
20 seconds.
Incredible pace.
15 seconds, here we go. Cardona sitting in gold, Gomez sitting in silver, Scott sitting in bronze.
The last 10 seconds, knees, hips, elbows, paying dividends for Cardona.
Gomez in silver, Scott bronze. Cardona is going to take the win. Gomez will grab the silver on that one. What a race with Scott slagging the bronze.
Wow.
So Marine Corps bronze, Navy silver, Marine Corps gold.
And Cardona completely unfazed. The second he was done, he's up, having a talk, enjoying the gold medal moment. Doing it for Marine Corps. All smiles.
Indeed. What a great competition here. Welcome everybody joining us online at home. Your DoD WarriorGames.com for all the information, results. Make sure you check the results page on that. Keep yourself all connected. DoDWarriorGames.com. Also share the URL with the friends. They can watch this too as well online. You're watching online? Let your friends know. Send them a text and let them know they can watch it too as well. Here at the Naval Air Station, North Island, Coronado Peninsula, day 5 of 10. The rowing competition going on right now. The next we're going to see Sport Class 6. Women will be at it next. We're going to be seeing Ashley Crispin from the Marine Corps, lane 17. Jacqueline Marty, Air Force, lane 18. Brianna Cook, Marine Corps, lane 19. Noelle Matzinger, Marine Corps, lane 20. Terry Charles, Air Force, lane 21. Carly James, Air Force, 22. Jamie Ingslema, Marine Corps, lane 23. Delani Quintello, Air Force, lane 24. And Jackie Mina, SOCOM, lane 25. And Shenandoah Bro from Marine Corps, 26. Sport Class 6 women ready to go. 4 minutes on the clock for this one, Pat.
You know, it's not all that often, Brad, that I try to go clairvoyant, but I did a little credit. Gomez, I was watching him in training and practice, had some words with him.
So you backed it
yesterday.
Up.
Yeah, he did back it up, and it was such a tight battle. And once again, we're seeing a handful of athletes from other disciplines in this battle. One, a standout, obviously, from the gold medal round in wheelchair rugby, Carla James in lane number 22. And James, one of the star players for wheelchair rugby. Expect great things from her in this rowing battle. So try to keep those things in your mind, knees, hips, and elbows in that order. Bring it all together, and the perfect recipe
Well, pay
for
attention
potential rowing gold.
Pay attention to Jamie Ingslema from the Marine Corps. She'll be in lane 23. She usually pretty much brings that A game. Terry Charles, Air Force, lane 21. I look out for her too as well. Denali Quintello, Air Force, 24. She can make things happen too as well.
And also,
man, you really, when you talk about the style, the cadence, and all that stuff, the catch, the drive, the finish. That's a package deal. You can be good at one, but you need to be good at all of them to have success.
And it's really knowing your comfort zone, your pocket, and staying within there. I mean, so much of what we've seen already with, each and every gold medalist is they've started at a pace they maintain, and then they'll leave just a little bit, knowing that they're going to have the rest of the pack try to catch up at that last, I'd say about a maybe minute to 45 seconds is where you see those drives happen.
Well, we're only going to have 2 4-minute races left here. This is going to be Flight 6 race, and then we'll have Sport Class 6 men, a 4-minute race on that one, and then we'll go to the 1 minutes.
And that's where you just see an explosion of power. You're leaving everything all at once. So it's just this volatile mix.
It's not a pace situation.
No.
You're not pacing for a minute, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is, At that level, you see people cry. The pain gets so severe.
Here we go. Sport Class 6, the women.
Can see staying loose, getting that breath in.
Here we go. Flight number 6 underway. Sport Class 6 women 4-minute race. Here we go.
So quick little lead from Marty. Pulling out, but a tight battle. Very, very contentious right now with Cook. Marty, and Charles all out front. And a little switch. Now Cook in the top spot, followed by Charles, and Marty in bronze medal position. And a back and forth between Charles and Cook. And once again, now Cook in the lead, slightly pulling away.
So Marine Corps Cook in the number 1, sitting in the gold. Air Force Charles sitting in the silver. Marty for the Air Force sitting in the bronze. And Ngzlema for the Marine Corps in that 4th spot. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4 with 1 minute ticking off this clock. 3 minutes and 3 seconds remain in this race.
Breon Cook doing a great job. You notice, you see her catch coming up high and getting that snap. And Charles in that silver medal position, still within striking distance. 2:45 on the clock, hitting the 350 meter mark. Charles can make up the difference. She gains a little bit, pulls back, gains a little bit, pulls back. Wants to stay steady and increase the tempo ever so slightly just to catch Cook.
Well, 2 minutes and 29 seconds to go here. Cook sitting in the gold. Charles sitting in silver. Ngzlema now sitting in that bronze. Your 1, 2, 3. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left.
And an interesting battle right now starting to happen with bronze. The rest of the pack, everyone is catching up. So now the pressure on Cook and Charles to increase that pace and to start to pull away from the rest of the pack.
There's a lot of time. We're only halfway through with this. 2 minutes remain. Cook sitting in the gold. Charles silver. Ngzlema in the bronze.
And look what's happening right now. The rest of the pack catching up into that bronze medal position, and a battle, a virtual battle right now. And right there with the switch, James back in bronze medal position.
Cook just holding down that pace. Current pace 2:11 and some change. Charles sitting in silver. James now has taken over that number 3 spot. James has now moved into the silver medal. Charles bumped down into the bronze. So Cook gold, James silver, Charles bronze. 1 minute, 20 seconds to go.
And Cook remaining steady with her pace. And the battle for bronze moving back and forth with James still in silver. Incredible tempo from these competitors.
Brianna Cook having a day in that number 1 spot with a minute left in this race. You look at Terry Charles in the 4th spot, was in 3rd for a while but couldn't hold on. Jamie Ngzlema, Marine Corps, sitting in bronze. James sitting in silver. Cook sitting in gold.
There is a chance for James if she can find something in the afterburners. with 40 seconds to go. She is just on the tail of Cook. If there's anything left in the tank, a big battle though now for.
She's falling back.
Yeah, a little slide there as Cook just not stopping. Breon Cook, first lieutenant, doing it for Marine Corps.
Carly James, though, she's still trying. Carly James is like, I want that gold. Here we go. Down to the 10-second mark left in this one, Pat.
And a strong push. The last 5 seconds. What's it going to be?
And that, it'll wrap it up. There you go. Brianna Cook with the gold on that one. Carly James will come away with the silver. And Jamie Egglem from the Marine Corps doing it in that bronze. What a race.
I'll tell you what, Cook was unstoppable. And I love to see that drive by James. I talked about Carla James and what a force she was for the gold medalist Air Force in wheelchair rugby yesterday, showing her prowess here with rowing as well. We're going to have some other gold medalist members jumping in on the next class. I see Moses Nebraska. He'll be racing. So lots of excitement, Brad. I love to see these athletes jump over and show their abilities in different disciplines. So cool.
So taking a look at our next one's going to be flight number 7. And that is going to be our final 4-minute race of the day here. Sport Class 6 men stacked and racked, and they are ready to go here. We'll see them in a little bit. But welcome everybody to the Department of Defense Warrior Games. Day 5 of 10 of competition. We'll be checking in with Tina Dixon in just a bit. But Sport Class 6, our final 4-minute race is coming up for you.
Deceptively riveting, is it not, Brad?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
All right, time to check in with the third member of our team. She's standing by in the mix. The ever so awesome Tina Dixon. Tina.
Oh, what a race. And Breanne Cook got out in the start and you ran away with it. Those last 10 seconds were so tight. What was your perspective there?
I just closed my eyes and just kept pushing because in that moment there's like nothing else you can do. You know, you prepared for a 4-minute and you're at the end. I can see that it's the end and I'm just like, just got to keep going. So.
You got a lot of support from your team. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. Team Marine Corps is really big on supporting one another. We've been out, everybody's showing up to everybody's events, and you know, it feels good. I've been at everybody's stuff. They're coming up to my stuff, so it's really cool.
Yeah, well done. Brad?
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, she says she kept her eyes closed at the end because there's nothing you can do in that situation. You just got to keep going.
Knows without the pain, there will be no gain or gold medal. Exactly. So, words to live by.
Well, we're about ready to start this one. We'll let you know who's all racing in here. I'll break that down for you. You can see on the right of your screen. We'll break it down for you. We are just about ready. The final 4-minute race here of the day. We are off. Here we go. Maxwell Oklu, lane number 1 for the Navy. Adam Fouts, SOCOM, lane number 2. Christopher Farrell, Air Force, lane 3. Tony Smith, lane 4, SOCOM. Olaj Shashanya, Air Force, lane 5. Dalton Abadaka, Army, lane 6. Jake Anthony, SOCOM, 7. Lane 8, SOCOM, Brian Castillo. SOCOM, line 9. Nolan Ellis, Air Force, Paul Vermeer. Lane 10. Lane 11, SOCOM, Debbie Lagarda. Lane 12, Garrett Corbett, the Air Force. Moses Nebraska, as you were talking about, lane 13. And Gary Eister, lane 14, Air Force. And we are racing.
And leading the charge out of the gate, we see Vermeer definitely setting that blistering pace that we expected, but just behind in that bronze medal, battling out for silver, Nebraska and Corbett, fellow team members on the gold medal team from wheelchair rugby yesterday. They are neck and neck, but they are gaining ground. Air Force definitely starting to make some traction here and challenging Vermeer.
Well, Christopher Farrell, it looks like, is in that silver situation right now, holding on to that in the number 2 spot. Vermeer in the number 1 spot, sitting in the gold. And then, as you were saying, Corbett in 3 for the bronze. Nebraska on the outside looking in, trying to climb in the top 3.
Yeah, a good challenge from Farrell. As we see on your screen right there, there is Moses Nebraska right next to him. Fellow teammate Garrett Corbett from Air Force.
And he just jumped into second, who you just talked about. Corbett moved into second. So now that's going to put Farrell down into the fourth. So he's bumped out. Nebraska's moved into third.
Nebraska in bronze medal position. Corbett in silver medal. And Vermeer still out in the lead. So it is a potential Air Force podium sweep here if it were to end right now. But there's 2 more minutes to go. How much do they have left in the tank?
Oh, watch out, because here comes Smith in fifth, has moved into fourth now. Farrell has been dropped down to 5. So Smith is making a late charge for SOCOM in that 4th spot. Nebraska sitting in bronze. Corbett sitting in silver. Vermeer sitting in gold. What a race. 1 minute, 40 seconds to go.
A tight challenge, as you pointed out. Smith starting to challenge Nebraska and Corbett for that bronze and silver. Vermeer still out front ever so slightly.
Look at the battle. Look at the battle between Corbett. Now Corbett's in second. Nebraska has been bumped down to 4th. So is the outside looking in, because Smith has taken over the podium in 3rd with Vermeer sitting in gold still. He's setting gold from the start of this race. He's holding that position. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go, Pat.
And at this point, the quads are burning, knees, hips, elbows all engaged. Trying to push through this last, now hitting the 60-second mark. 900 meters they've covered. And a serious battle right now with Smith now in 3rd. Nebraska just outside the podium position right now in 4th place.
He is trying his best, but Vermeer has held them all off from the start of this race, sitting in gold. Corbett sitting in silver in lane 12. And you got Smith in the bronze. 35 seconds to go.
30 seconds and a chance for Nebraska to finally push. If Nebraska can dig a little deeper, he can catch up with Smith, snatch the bronze medal away, and have an Air Force podium. 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be this last 20 seconds that will tell the tale. Will it be Smith? Will it be Nebraska? Corbett in silver medal position, and Vermeer still in gold.
Here we go, 8 seconds to go. Vermeer in the number 1 spot. He's going to grab the gold. Can he hold on? Corbett's trying to grab the silver. Smith trying to grab the bronze. 2 seconds, 1 second. And Vermeer, gold. Corbett, silver. And Smith, bronze.
So close. And it was one of those situations where Nebraska was in the silver medal position, the bronze, and then just slipped and just lost it at that last. Wow. It was about the last 40 seconds. Almost had a sweep on that.
Well, don't mess with Paul Vermeer for Air Force.
Well, and Smith, I mean, just incredible doing it for SOCOM. What a charge at that last 45-second mark. I was so impressed at the pace. Almost upticking, giving it like extra about 15 to 20% on his pace.
Yeah, Nebraska, you know, what a heartbreaker for him. He really was in that 3rd spot for a while, but like you said, Smith just came out and turned on the afterburners and ended up grabbing that bronze medal. Quebec grabbing that silver from Vermeer, making things happen with the gold on that one. And we'll get now, it's all about the 1 minute races now. The sprints are coming up for you. Flight 8 will be the first one coming up in the sprint side of things. Pat Purnell, Brad J with the call, and man, this is some good action. At first one I thought, rowing machines?
I know.
You knew I was going to be surprised.
I do, because I know you love a good you love a good competition.
Yeah,
and you can see just Nebraska definitely as we look off camera here. A couple of these guys just gave it their all, and.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody, I know you've been enjoying watching all the action, and we've seen all the 4 minute races. We're going to have the 1 minute races coming up, but we're just going to have about 4 to 5 minutes in between before we get things started. So we'll be back with more competition. Pat and I, we're going to get into the 1 minute races. They're coming up. Don't go anywhere. More action here, rowing competition coming up. DoD Warrior Games. Large and in charge, day 5 and 10. Yeah.
I'm gonna make them see. won't you let it be? Oh, 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 Lord, I'm gonna make them see. Are you ready? Here it comes. Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Are you ready? Here it goes. Are you ready? Are you ready for me?
Because we all love music. We in this house. They call it house. But it's a love house, y'all. Because we all love music. We in this house. They call it house. But it's a love house, y'all.
Department of Defense Warrior Games in full effect here. Day 5 of 10 days of competition. Can you believe it? Pat Parnell, Brad J here with the call. And we're all about the rowing competition today. And I'll tell you, when I knew they were on rowing machines, I wasn't thinking the best of it, but
yeah,
it's really cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new convert, so it's so cool to see. And what we talked about with the 4-minute, now just take that and just put it into a bottle, and it's just going to be this volatile just burst of energy, everything you have all at once, 60 seconds. You leave it all here.
But it doesn't sound like a lot of time. It sounds like, 60 seconds. I could row for that amount of time. No problem. But really, it's not like that.
When you consider the wattage, the watts that these athletes are outputting in that 60-second window, it is incredible. So I think we're going to see just as much contention for the gold with the 1 minute that we saw with the 4-minute.
But 4 minutes, it seems like that's just not fair, because it's just a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know how you keep that kind of energy up. And then when you start seeing other people get close to you, because on your monitors, they have these little monitors on their machine so they can see where they're ranked, and they know where they're at. So they can see that, we're behind, I got to keep going.
Almost reminds you of the carnival game where you have the squirt gun and the balloon.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, a little bit, but definitely a little bit more painful, or a lot more painful.
I won like 3 stuffed animals doing that, so
yeah,
I was pretty good at that game. But this one's going to be a little different because we have the 1 minute races, but we're going to have 3 different classes in this race. So basically, there'll be 3 separate gold medals in this next race coming up here, flight number 8. We'll have Heather Sealover for the Air Force, lane 3. She's in sport class 2, so she is on her own in that one. Then for the Marine Corps, you have Morgan Spencer. She's in sport class 5. She is racing against Teresa Lewis for the Army, so they're in lane 6 and 7, racing each other. And then you go down to Sunshine Hassel for the Army in lane 9. She's 5.5L, and she is racing against Lauren Montoya from SOCOM. Wasn't that the name of the Montoya, the six-fingered man in The Princess Bride?
Random party of one, but yes, you are correct.
You're going to get movie quotes and things out of it.
Good sense of recall.
Don't engage, Maverick. I've been using that one a lot.
Yeah. So those of you just joining us, I'll kind of remind you things to be looking for. The four phases: the catch, the drive, the finish, and the recovery. We talk about the knees, hips, and elbows in that order, going to produce the best results. And technique is everything, especially when you're packaging it all into 60 seconds of explosiveness.
So here we go. Next race, 1 minute. Sport Class 2, Sport Class 5, and Sport Class 5.5L being represented here.
We have flight line up, flight 11 right after, please. Flight 11, get in line. Flight 12 should be on the verbs.
And we are racing.
And notice the difference, the pace, the intensity, a little bit more kick in this 1 minute battle. And really, Spencer setting such a fast pace.
Yeah, Spencer is racing against Lewis in this one. They're both in the same class. So Spencer sitting in the gold, Lewis sitting in the silver. Sea Lover on her own here, up in, was that lane 3 that Sea Lover's in? And in lane 9, that's Hassel, number 1 spot for Army in her category. She's in the 5.5L category.
Wow, and you can just see Spencer really taking it home this last few seconds. Such incredible drive.
And that'll wrap it up right there. So we'll see. Sea Lover will grab another gold. Hassel will grab a gold as well, and so will Spencer. So 3 golds given out in that one. Flight 8.
Really impressed by the speed that was able to be maintained on that one. Just looking at the figures. Wow.
So flight 9 coming up, and we'll have in this one 1, 2, 3, 4 different classes going to be represented in the next one. So 1 minute races from here on out. The 1 minute sprints. 8 classifications being represented out here today. We had 2 major events. Started with the 4 minute races.
Yeah. Well, and I should point out too, you're seeing a lot of the usual suspects that we saw in the 4 minute. They haven't had that much time to get in recovery.
Right.
I watched Sturgis after his 4 minute. I mean, you could tell it was just definitely showing its impact. So not a lot of time, rehydrate, refocus, and jump back into it. So just waiting for all of the racers to get set up.
We had a racer that went down from, it's like exhaustion from one of the races, so we have a little bit of a hold right now. We have the greatest medical staff here to tend to all the athletes and the Warriors' needs. So we'll give it a second here to make sure that our Warrior is okay. So taking a look at the next race we're going to be seeing here, Kyle Higginbotham. He'll be representing Sport Class 3, lane 17 for the Navy.
Hold the handles, please, in ready position. And it's the same start we saw for the 4 minute. I'm going to give the break over to John.
Well, here we go. Racing action continuing here. The 1 minute sprint's underway, Pat.
Morera really getting at it early, but getting a good, tough battle from Gladden and St. Pierre in close proximity. Sturgis just in that third, fourth position, shifting back and forth. Remember, there's multiple classifications here, but it's all about what pace you're throwing at it. 150 meters now, under the 30-second mark. Morera still out front. Gladden in second, Sturgis.
And here we go, down to the 15-second mark. Morera holding down the gold. Gladden holding down the silver in their category. St. Pierre holding down the bronze there. Sturgis holding gold in his category. Higginbotham holding gold in his. And Chikawangzi holding gold in his category. 1 second to go, and that's it. It is official like a referee's whistle. That'll wrap it up. Chikawangzi will grab gold in his. Higginbotham will grab gold in his. Sturgis will grab the gold with Spawn in silver. Morera will grab the gold. Gladden will grab the silver. And St. Pierre will take the bronze. A lot of gold medals. A lot of hardware handed out in that one.
Well, Morera, that was an explosive pace. I think the expression says it all. Left it all on the rowing machine there. Snatching the gold medal. No stopping him. He was from the get-go. Found the lead, hung on to it for a full minute.
Wow, good race in action here all the way through. 1 minute sprints underway. The next one is going to be the entire class will be racing each other. Always fun to have those, and it's going to be a big one. We got Harley Meagley for SOCOM in lane 4. Gregory Walker, Air Force. Lane 9. Kyle Kitzman, Navy, lane 10. Jackson Williams, SOCOM, lane 11. And Zach Polega, lane 12 for SOCOM. This is your sport class 5.5L for the men, Pat.
So we made reference to it earlier, Brad. We started talking about all the things that lead to success with rowing. And I mentioned breath. I don't know if you do a lot of breath work, if you do everything from fire breaths and kind of research, I know, on the free diving as a surfer. But how you breathe, when you breathe, and, you know, especially when is vital. Breath work is such a huge factor. We talk about, you know, not breathing through your mouth and, you know, what you get by breathing through the nose. That is a huge component of what can tip the scales when you're coming down to fractions of a second.
I can 100% identify that because of the world of mountain biking.
Yeah.
And when I'm on climbs or I'm doing whatever I'm doing, you have to get that cadence with your breath, and it has to be consistent. If you're huffing and puffing and you're all over the place, you're wasting energy that you're going to need to finish that race. So breath, so important, as you say. The cadence of your breath, very important. And having good breath, too, Pat, I would think is a good thing, too.
Don't be a mouth breather.
Don't be a mouth breather. Nose, baby. Oh, we are ready to go here. We're just seconds away here. Flight number 10. Sport class 5.5L men. On the clock here. Here we go. And most of these races have already raced in the 4-minute race.
Jackson Williams.
And Polega, too,
Very
as well.
focused. Kind of loading up. Here we go. And with that, you saw Williams really leading the way. You can see Williams in lane 11 there, taking the lead in just a very, very tight battle for silver medal position. Kitzman, Martin, along with Pelega. Again, Pelega, fresh off success out of the 4-minute. Can he catch up to Williams? Williams starting to pull away. Williams showing no signs of slowing down. Now the 20-second mark. Now a battle for bronze and silver.
Here we go. 12 seconds on the clock. Williams sitting in the goal position right now, trying to hold off. Walker is sitting in the silver. Pelega is now moved into the silver as well. So Walker, Pelega, Williams pulling it off, snagging the gold on that one. Pelega will grab the silver, and Walker with the bronze.
So 2 medals snagged by SOCOM on that incredible battle. And it was interesting. We had the luxury of looking Williams right in the eye as he was getting ready, kind of loading up with those breaths, and just took that intense, just radical approach.
In the battle between Pelega, Walker, and Martin, the 2, 3, 4 spots, that was the real deal. I felt like Williams just like, look, Jackson has been just burly out here in every single competition, and he's already raced today, but he's coming away with another medal just like that.
Well, when you have a competitor like Williams where he kicks it in, I call it the nitrous, the Vin Diesel, finds the 6th gear, goes fast and furious. That was a tough pace to catch, let alone beat. But it is interesting. You watch those battles in the back row, and it's sometimes the battle for bronze can be equally, if not more, exciting.
The race within the race. Well, good stuff right there. That was Flight 10. Oh, another good race again. Here we go. This one is going to be the Sport Class 6 women. There's a big field of them that are going to be competing in this 1-minute sprint.
Yeah, and as we look through the list, Brad, it rehashes the story of not a lot of time for recovery. Breon Cook, taking the win in the 4-minute. What has she had? A total of maybe about 13, 16 minutes to kind of get her bearings straight.
Exactly.
That refractory period, not a lot of time. So it's extra brutal on the body for sure.
And that's exactly why we raced the 4-minute first. You can't do that in reverse order, have them race the 1 minute and then end with the 4. Much like within track, the 1500 gets done as the first races because those are the ones that are going to take the most out of you. So the 4-minute going first out here today, followed by the 1-minute sprints.
Going to have a full day of disciplines, sports here at the Warrior Games. Good way to kick it off this morning. Well, temperatures nice and cool.
Oh, yeah. 62, 63 maybe. This is the big class right here. We have a lot of competitors coming up in this one. We're going to have, let me just go through them real quick for you. Shenandoah, Brio, Marine Corps, lane 15. Veronica Jones, Army, lane 16. Brianna Cook, Marine Corps, lane 17. Mary Garza, Navy, lane 18. Victoria Kamir, Army, lane 19. Rochelle Brown, Air Force, lane 20. Lindsay Batista, Navy, lane 21. Jewel Lewis, Army, lane 22. Jackie Mina, SOCOM, lane 23. Anna Walker, Army, lane 24. Noelle Matzinger, Marine Corps, lane 25. Kaylin Bedell, Navy, lane 26. Ashley Crispin, Marine Corps, lane 27. And Jamie Lopez, Navy, lane 28.
So defending gold medalist, trying to go double gold here in rowing. Just trying to keep those nerves nice and relaxed.
A lot of racers here coming up.
Focused on That explosion. Here we go.
There we go. Sport Class 6 women on the clock. 1 minute sprint.
What a battle right now. A handful of rowers. Matzinger, but right, you can see, as expected, Cook again. Cook charging, but then getting a challenge by Lewis. Now Lewis, followed by Cook, followed by Batista. Now Kamir in bronze medal position. Matzinger now in 5th, just outside of the top 3. A battle with Jones in 4th, Kamir in 3rd. Lewis still out front. Can Cook catch Lewis? Breon Cook.
15 seconds to go. Lewis in the number 1 spot, sitting in gold. Cook in number 2. That's the silver medal. Can she hold on to that? Kamir trying to hold off Jones in the bronze. Here we go. The final ticks on the clock. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lewis will grab the gold. Cook will grab the silver. And Kamir will grab the bronze. What a race.
So amazing to see Lewis come back. Breon Cook grabbed the gold in the 4 minute and wanted it so bad in the 1 minute. Lewis said, no, not on my watch. And Kamir grabbing the bronze just outside of the top 3. Jones just missing medal status there.
Solid racing action you're witnessing out here at the DoD Warrior Games. Live from San Diego here on the Coronado Peninsula. Pat Parnell and Brad J. breaking down the calls. Pat, a 3-time Castle podiumist. I think I got 3 podiums in Castle.
Going way back, yeah.
But we competed in San Diego, California Skateboard League.
Yeah, at Del Mar Skate Ranch. We regress, yeah.
It's good to be back in,
yeah,
I would say sunny San Diego, but I'm going to go Marine Layer San Diego.
Well, keeping things nice and cool. It's interesting watching. We've had a couple of athletes really start to succumb to just, 5 days of competition and just, the amount of sport that they've been taking part in, just feeling the effects. Interesting matchup on the 4 minute. We saw Moses Nebraska just fall shy of getting that bronze medal. Him and Corbett were going back and forth. We'll also see Corbett in this 1 minute race. But I also see some familiar faces. Garcia for Navy also was a force to be reckoned with for Navy, grabbing the silver medal in wheelchair rugby. But I also expect a strong showing from the Marine Corps in this 1 minute battle.
Well, and coming up here in Sport Class 6 for the men, Wade Spahn was one of those guys you talk about, Marine Corps. He's a guy that definitely can make things happen. So he's been solid. So you got to look at him as far as if you're going to look at Marine Corps. But then, once again, you got Xavier Cardona, too, as well. Rosenda Gutierrez also representing. And then Colin Almond has been solid in competition throughout the entire week, too, as well.
And it's a deceptive thing, too, when you look at the stature of some of these athletes, all different shapes and sizes. It's not what you think in terms of upper body. As we mentioned, you're getting a majority of your power from your legs and the proper technique. When you get to that drive, by wing back, it's almost like a snap. The vertical position, finally adding the arm pull. That arm pull is that last part. It's the bonus, if you will. Shoulders remaining low and relaxed. And sometimes you'll look at these athletes, not so big in stature, they're putting up the fastest times. That's what's incredible. Technique can go miles when it comes to rowing.
I mean, I feel like the technique is really one of the features in it. I mean, you talk about from the catch to the drive to the finish. I mean, you might be solid at one or you might be solid at two, but it's a package deal. You've got to be well-rounded when it comes to this
sport. And we talk about it, too. A lot of people make that mistake of, on that catch and, where your hands are a little too low, and if they have to come up over the knees, it gets a little clunky. You're losing a lot of that power transmission.
It's the same drill. This is 1 minute. And you can go on the word go.
I'm predicting a very, very tight battle on this one. This is going to just be blistering pace.
Sport Class 6 for the men here, flight number 12.
Here we go. And just like that, as expected, a charge out the gate. Anderson leads it, but plenty of rowers just behind him. Corbett giving him a good challenge in silver medal position. Lee with Corbett, and now challenging Corbett for bronze. Garcia for Navy. Now 20-second mark for Anderson, if he can hold on to it. Corbett falling back to bronze, and now Lee in silver medal. So a tight battle. 15 seconds. Who can grab the silver? It looks like it's a runaway for Anderson.
Anderson sitting in the gold. Here we go. Down to the final stretch. Lee sitting in silver. Corbett sitting in the bronze. Who's going to take it? 1 second to go. Anderson will end up taking the gold. Lee with the silver. And Corbett will grab the bronze with Garcia on the outside looking in.
Brad, that was so ridiculously close between Corbett and Lee right on the last 15 to 10 seconds. Corbett inching forward, but then Lee just getting, with every pull, they were matching neck and neck, going back and forth with the pole, down to centimeters between Corbett and Lee.
Well, Army grabbing 1 and 2 on that one, so Anderson will come away. Bill Anderson for Army will come away with the gold medal. Congratulations, Sean Lee. Army, he will grab the silver, and we got Garrett Corbett from the Air Force. He will grab the bronze here today in that. So that'll wrap it up. Sport Class 6 for the men. Flight 12 in the books. 2 more flights to go here.
Okay, we have one more heat after this of the finals of the men's, well, the second half of men 6.0. Then we are going to take a 30-minute break, and we'll rewire these machines and set them up for some team events. So this is the last of the 6.0 men. Anybody have a coxswain in this room? I need to check that we got coxswains.
So, as expected in the last matchup, Brad, we can expect the same tight battle for this one. All the top performers from the 4-minute jumping into the 1 minute. And the big question is, how much do you have left in the tank? How quickly can you bounce back? See Carla James out there for Air Force, the silver medalist from the last 4-minute, keeping loose.
Same drill as before for the 4 minutes. Ready, attention, no one, go.
Sport Class 6 for the women. 1 minute sprint. Ladies locked and loaded here, ready to compete. Here we go.
We are off. Now keep your eyes peeled. Even tighter than the men's 1 minute, as you can see. All racers hitting that 50-meter mark so fast. Leading the charge, though, it looks like Campos, albeit just barely. Antoniuk and then Togia again finding room in medal position in bronze. Togia. Campos maintaining that pace that we've seen before. But Togia also known for finding a little fire in the tank at the last second. Antoniuk battling back and forth now in the last 10 seconds.
Here we go. Campos in the number 1 spot. Could it be gold? Antoniuk sitting in the silver. Togia the bronze. Here we go. 3 seconds. Campos, can she take the win? Can she take the gold? She's going to do it. The gold medal to Campos. Antoniuk with the silver. And Charles taking the bronze right there. What a race.
It was so interesting watching Carla James really start to gain ground, but just too little, too late. She had maybe an extra 30 seconds, but in the 1 minute, it's all about that complete explosion, that blast of power and speed for a total 60 seconds. Hats off to Campos. That was just, jaw-dropping.
Elizabeth Campos, Team SOCOM, taking the gold medal. Joanna Antoniuk for Air Force grabbing the silver medal. And Carly James for the Air Force rounding it out with the bronze for the Air Force. That's going to do it for your Sport Class 6 women. So Sport Class 6 for the men now. Another big class.
Oh, you're some strong competitors in this class, Brad. Looking across the front row. So just getting warmed up. And when we look at the meters and the distance covered in 60 seconds, I think you're going to be a little surprised.
Some heavy-duty athletes in this one, that's for sure. Paul Vermeer, okay, pay attention to him in this one. He is one that definitely can make things happen for Team Air Force. The skills to pay the bills for sure. Christopher L., I like what he's been brought to the table out here today. Keep an eye on him as well.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point when you're out here doing it for yourself, but it's really, for Air Force, we've watched so many of these great team events, but to come out here to grab a medal for yourself and know that actually goes towards the team, the feeling that you get with that is priceless. And it's great to see the rest of so many of these athletes, their teammates from other sports, come out and support. You can hear them. It's definitely a raucous crowd for rowing, if I may say. It's an interesting kind of decision by some of the competitors, going a little hot on that warm-up, but want to stay loose. They know how much you have to put in to find success in the 1 minute. It's just an assault on the senses, too. Your body is telling you stop. Just stop what you're doing. And,
throw in the towel. Stop it.
Yeah, me no likey.
We'd be done with this.
Yeah. But it's that mental, that determination so many of these athletes able to push through, and all in terms of in the disciplines for all the branches that they represent, it's built, it's woven in to the mantra of how they approach things. Doesn't matter if you're Marine Corps, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, SOCOM, all so disciplined and determined, and it comes out in volumes here in these competitions.
Sport Class 6 for the men here. Flight number 14 here. And we're off. Here we go. We're racing.
And right from the get-go, as expected, Vermeer again, but getting a good challenge from Smith again. So the usual suspects leading the charge. You can see Scott in lane 13. doing a good job hanging on in that silver medal position, but a tight battle with 30 seconds to go for gold medal contention. Burrell, Vermeer battling it out back and forth. It is neck and neck, separated by inches. Now pulling away Burrell. Burrell now getting the lead over Vermeer. Can Vermeer come back?
Here we go. 12 seconds to go. Burrell has taken over the lead for the gold. Vermeer has been bumped and relinquished to the silver. You got Scott sitting in the bronze. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Burrell's going to take it. Vermeer takes it. Number one spot, but Burrell looks like we might have a tie for the number one spot for Vermeer and Burrell, with Scott bringing up the bronze.
Gonna check the gates on this, but unbelievable battle to the end. Vermeer, Burrell, and Burrell just was not giving up anything on that. Scott rounding out the top three. We'll see where the dust settles on those two. We're going to check the gauges, and then Smith right there, potentially in bronze medal position, should that be a tie for first.
Well, a very interesting situation on that, because they show the same stats for each other. Vermeer shows number one. Burrell shows number one. Vermeer had the lead. Burrell caught up to go over the lead. Then Vermeer at the last second got back into it. So it doesn't become a tie, doesn't become double gold. That would be the first time that we've seen it out here so far in our competition. Yeah, and we had eyes on Scott, too. He was right in front of our announce stand. It was really interesting watching his technique, his drive. He had such a good snap right from the get-go, really jumped into his rhythm early and stayed with it. Well, looking at it right now, they have not changed it, so it looks like it could be double gold with no silver awarded. And Scott would take the bronze. He'd take the bronze no matter what. But Vermeer and Burrell, would they both get gold on this one and there's no silver awarded? That's what it comes down to. Well, all but unofficial. We'll let you know when it becomes official. Be doing awards ceremony immediately following. When you're doing the medal ceremony, that's usually when it's official. That's when the cat is out of the bag. Indeed. We'll check in here in just a moment, see if we get a chance to catch up with Tina Dixon. Welcome to DoD Warrior Games here, Naval Air Station, North Island, Coronado Peninsula. Let's check in with the third member of our team. Let's send it downstairs to Tina Dixon. Tina.
Yeah, what a race. And as we wait to hear the official results, Paul Vermeer did have a gold medal from the 4-minute, but now it's looking like you're going to get another gold medal, just potentially sharing it. But just walk us through that race for you.
The 1 minute is just give it all you can. There's not a whole lot more strategy than that. So just give it all you can, just right to the very end, and just see how that ends up.
How are you feeling now after the 4-minute and now the 1 minute? I mean, you're still catching your breath.
Yeah. It's the 1 minute's always just exhausting. It's just all out. So 4 minutes is kind of a warm up for that. And then we got one more 1 minute to go with the relay. We have a 30-minute rest, so it should be enough time, but I'll definitely feel it tomorrow, yeah.
Team Air Force has been having such a great event. Wheelchair rugby last night and then here today. Just overall, how would you describe being part of that team?
Oh, man, it's life-changing, really. I won't get into details, but really being with this group and everyone knowing what other people have been through and just the experiences and everyone fighting through that and just trying to get better. It's life-changing, really. Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time, and we'll look forward to that relay. All right, Brad.
Thank you so much, Tina Dixon. Catching things up down there, and we're catching things up in here, and we're not done. We thought 4-minute races, 1 minute races.
A little bit more in the tank on our part and on the part of the athletes.
So we have team events coming up for you. We're going to take a break and be back at 10:15 for the start of our team competition. So get yourself a nice beverage, get yourself something to eat, and get back to that computer or that television set, because we're going here in just about 30 minutes. We'll get underway with all of our team events here from the Department of Defense Warrior Games, live from San Diego.
My pain is like water against the dam. And it's my cross to bear. I can't remember a time it wasn't there. Light a fire so the world can see the fight and fury I have inside of me. Lord, bring out the fire in me. Shine so everybody can see you. Be everything that you wanna be. Lord, I'm gonna find my way. Hard times rain down since the day I was born. But I never stop running past the point of no return. Light a fire so the world can see. There's a fight and a rage deep down in the heart of me. Lord, bring out the fire in me. Shine so everybody can see you. Be anything that you wanna be. Yeah. Lord, I'm gonna find my way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hard times rain down since the day I was born. But I never stop around. Time to take my turn. Light a fire so the world can see the fighting fury that I have inside of me. So open your eyes and see the fight I have burns inside of me. Give it to me now, huh? Well, I woke up and I changed the pace. Felt so good, little on my name. Ay, 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 I think I smell smoke. Ooh, oh, she don't hold back, ooh, a little firecracker. retribution can be so dangerous. The falling rain and the rising tide. You're not to blame, but you're dying inside. There's a black cloud hanging over us, hanging over us. Still we aim for glory, for glory, for glory. Still we aim for glory, for glory, for glory. We will rise and we will fall with our backs against the wall. Still we aim for glory, for glory, for glory. There's a sentence that you must serve. You're gonna do your time for what it's worth. It's worth. The falling rain and the rising tides. You're not to blame, but you're dying inside. There's a black cloud and it won't give up, give up. Still we aim for glory, for glory, for glory. Still we aim for glory, for glory, for glory. We will rise and we will fall with our backs against the wall. Still we aim for glory, for glory, for glory. The sea will rise, the stars will fall. We're still alive to climb the wall. We live forever and stake our claim. It's now or never. Stand up and take aim. We do it all for glory, for glory, for glory.
check it out, check it out. It's time to rock, it's time to rock, it's time to rock. Hey, yo, the party don't stop. It's time to rock, it's time to rock, it's time to rock. Hey, yo, we take it to the top. It's time to rock, it's time to rock, it's time to rock. We go hard in the block. It's time to rock, it's time to rock, it's time to rock. Yeah. Yo, the party didn't start till my crew walked in, and it probably won't end till we hit the door again. Got a bottle of gin and a couple of friends. We about to set the vibe right, and yo, we on it again. Country in the mud, Bama is hell. Listen up, little homie, I got a story to tell. The championship, we about to win. Celebrate all night, and then we do it again. Check it out, check it out. It's time to rock, it's time to rock. It's time to rock, and yo, the party don't stop. It's time to rock, it's time to rock, it's time to rock, and yo, we take it to the top. It's time to rock, it's time to rock, it's time to rock. We go hard in the block. It's time to rock, it's time to rock, it's time to rock. We go hard, we go hard, yeah, yeah, we go hard, oh my God, we go hard, yeah, yeah, we go hard, yeah, yeah, we go hard, yeah, yeah, we go hard, we go hard, we go hard. Check it out now. It's time to rock. Rock and yo, the party don't stop. It's time to rock. It's time to rock. Check it out, check it out. It's time to rock. Rock and yo, the party don't stop. It's time to rock. It's time to rock. It's time to rock. We go hard. We go hard. Yeah, yeah, oh my God, we go hard. Oh my God, we go hard. Yeah, yeah, we go hard. Yeah, yeah, we go hard. Yeah, yeah, we go hard. We go hard. We go hard. Check it out now.
Go get a hold of yourself. The world's trying to tear you down. It's like you're gonna need some help. A good job I'm around. I'll be bringing my all tonight. Nothing's gonna stop me now. This whole place is gonna be mine. I'm gonna run this town. Have you heard about me? I'm the man around here. I'm the mayor of this town. And I'm bringing the fear.
And a very good mid-morning or late morning now. Your DoD Warrior Games here at the Naval Air Station, North Island, Coronado Peninsula. Cloudy, somewhat sometimes sunny San Diego. Brad J on the mic. Pat Parnell at side. And Pat, we've seen some great racing. We saw the 4 minutes. We've seen the 1 minute sprints. But now it's all about the teamwork. Because it takes teamwork to make the dream work.
Well, absolutely. It was interesting. We were talking about the pride that so many of these competitors had by getting that medal and by just adding it to the overall medal count for whether it be Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Marines, SOCOM. But now this such a cool aspect is that it allows these rowers to come together as a group. All their times and what they're doing in the row will be allotted for basically a group boat, if you will. And we get to watch Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force simultaneously battle it out. It's a really, really exciting format. And you really get to feed off your competitor and your teammates right on each side of you. You really feed into that energy and that pace. So you'll see some of them kind of leading, and then others on the team will be rising up to that level.
And so with that, you're going to see 4 competitors on each team, as you were talking about. So 4 competitors for the Air Force, 4 for the Navy, and 4 for the Marine Corps in this first race. So they will stack up together, and it's a combo effort. So you don't want to be the wink link, right?
No, you don't. You definitely, if you see that someone's just pulling in and they're starting to pull away, and you can see it too on your monitor. You need to, how much wattage you're putting out there, and it's, you know when and when you cannot step up and how much you have left. But I expect everything to be delivered. I think this team format really pushes these athletes to the brink in the best of ways.
Because you don't want to let down your teammate. That's the one thing here. You want to just be just as strong as the guy next to you or the girl next to you.
We saw a really interesting interview with that camaraderie that he gets from the team aspect of this event. It's such a special event. Waiting for the call. He's getting out.
There we go. We're racing.
We are off. And who is going to lead the charge? We see a tight battle, but Navy ever so slightly pulling out in that first 50 meters. Navy, no stranger to all things rowing. And Marine Corps giving them a test right now. Marine Corps really staying in step. Air Force definitely falling behind.
25 seconds left in this one right now. Navy sitting in the gold medal. Marine Corps sitting in the silver. Air Force in the bronze in this one. How's it going to go? Look at the Navy's extending the lead. 15 seconds to go.
Marine Corps trying to... Look at the speed of Navy. Wow. Garcia really pulling it home.
4, 3, 2, 1. That's going to be time. Navy is going to come across first. Marine Corps second and Air Force third on that one. And if you're the Navy, it's rowing, man. This is your sport. You better come to play. You don't want some of the Air Force beating you.
It's definitely in the wheelhouse, but we did see some competitors representing Coast Guard. You can see some of the athletes really pushed to the brink. We've seen a couple athletes just fall victim of dehydration and just exhaustion from 5 days of competition. We have 5 more here at the Warrior Games to round out the week. And it's just, that type of exertion, it is exhausting. Like I said, your body is telling you, stop what you're doing.
Stop it.
Mentally, you have to persevere, you push through. And you can see just all of these rowers, they're just going down, they're rubbing the quads. It's, you're about 90 to 95%, if maybe not higher, in terms of all that power you're getting from the row. You talk about the knees, the hips, and the elbows. It's the flow of that really dictates proper technique, but relying on those strong legs, and just getting those catch, the drive, the finish, and the recovery all dialed in.
I mean, I gotta keep bringing it up, though. I mean, you're Navy. This is a rowing sport. It's a water sport. I'm not saying it's everything they have to do, but you really don't want to be the one to be in third place. If you're Navy, that's the last place you want to be. And they really showed, because from the start, they were just swinging for the fence. They left nothing out there.
Well, Garcia, I did take notice. Garcia, who also competed in wheelchair rugby, he was just on fire. You could see the hunger, and he had such a fast pace, really hard to match. They were definitely leading it.
We're going to try and see if we can get a word with those guys, Team Navy, here in just a moment. We'll be getting the next race going. There's going to be 3 races that we do out here today. That was the 5.5 classification on that team portion. Department of Defense Warrior Games here at the Naval Air Station on the Coronado Peninsula here. Day 5 of 10 days of full competition. These Warriors are bringing it. They're sending it.
Can see the next round starting to take their places.
So we'll get our next race all stacked up. It'll be, once again, it'll be Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force. Different group. We change out the athletes. And so 4 will represent Air Force, 4 will represent Navy, and 4 for the Corps.
And great to see, too, the mix, the male-female mix. We saw that in wheelchair rugby and a lot of these disciplines. So great to see that combination on these teams.
All right, well, time to check in, Pat. Let's check in third member of the team. We got Tina Dixon standing by, I think, with the Navy. Tina, take it away.
Yeah, I am with the Navy, and they set Kyle, Jesse, Andrew, Kyle. There you go. I want to talk to you first, team captain. The pressure of a team aspect versus just doing that event by yourself.
Easier, it's not for us, it's not for ourselves, it's for them, it's for our teammates, it's for our family, so it's a lot easier to compete for someone else than it is yourself, It's part of being in the military, it's part of being in the Navy, be selfless, be for your other people,
Yeah, and the camaraderie of this event too, how do you describe that?
Oh, it's been amazing. Every branch, as hard as we're competing against each other, rarely do you see the support at the same time. But yeah, it's been amazing. I love the support from every branch.
Thanks so much, guys. And you set a fast race there. We'll see what the others can do.
All right, thank you so much. Tina Dixon catching up with the Navy. So, well, if you're Navy here and you're stacking up for this next race, Pat, I mean, you saw your other teammates, what they did.
Oh.
You don't want to be the weak link?
They clearly set the bar high, so you can imagine the pressure that this other Navy team is going into this matchup. I'm interested to see this Air Force team. I always focus on Carla James. I think she put up such good rows earlier, so she is definitely going to deliver and be able to maintain the pace with the rest of her teammates. And then Marine Corps. And let's not forget, on this team for the Navy, as they're coming out, one of my favorite athletes out here, so strong, is Gomez. Such a powerhouse.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But the cool thing about this race we're about ready to see is we had 3 in the last one, but this one, all teams are being represented. So Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, SOCOM, Army, all in this one. Yeah. So all 5 being represented here, as we had just 3 in that last one.
Yeah, let's not forget, on the back row, we have Army and SOCOM kind of hidden back there, but you'll see it on the screen. It's going to be interesting. Wouldn't want to be a betting man right now, but I feel like Navy might get the push out of the gate here, and it's going to be a game of kind of matching and staying in step. And just before they make the call, I mean, it's like pins and needles out here. Very vocal crowd for all things rowing. One of the louder, more spirited groups we've seen.
They're rowdy here.
rowdy rowers. It's a thing.
I mean, no one's throwing anything. Air Force looks calm. I'm looking at the faces here. I'm seeing smiles.
Stopped, staying warm. Their warm-up hasn't stopped.
And Josh Connell on the end there. That's Josh Connell, Lindsay Batista, Aaron Gomez, and Edward St. Pierre. Eddie in the mix on that one. Ashley Christman, Brianna Cook, Rosendo Gutierrez, and Alejandro Ramirez. They're going to make up for the Marine Corps over there. And then over on the Air Force in this one, Greg Walker, Shoshonia, Carly James, and Jonah Antonuik is Team Air Force in this one. Team Army, Derek Thompson, Bill Anderson, Tori Kamir, and Jewel Lewis, Team Army. And wrapping up Team SOCOM, Ivan Morera, Harley Meagley, Josh Martin, Adam Fouts. Those are all your teams being represented in this one.
And what I like too, just the energy right now in this team format. A lot more smiles. You came in here earlier with the 4 minute and 1 minute kind of grimaces, just a little more intensity. But expect that to change once they get the row command.
But you nailed it when you said that Navy has not stopped warming up since they've sat down. No other team is doing that. I mean, I see one on the Marine Corps still kind of warming up. Getting the catch, getting the drive, just slowly staying in that rhythm.
And we were talking about it earlier, Brad, just how deceiving it can be. The sport of rowing, it's not about having these massive shoulders. You get so much drive and so much power and pop from the legs. It's where all the energy and all of that power transfer comes from. And so you'll have these almost like diminutive, stature athletes just dominate in terms of just the way that their technique and the strength kind of, deceiving, just packing all that power in the quad and able to utilize it.
Yeah, because it's not just an upper body, it's not just a lower body, it's a combo of both.
Yeah.
Oh, this crowd is fired up out here today. The rowing competition, the team rowing competition. Second race about ready to begin. Marine Corps versus Navy, Air Force, SOCOM, Army, all five in this one, with only room for 3 on the podium. We are rowing. Here we go.
Oh, and let's see what happens here. Right out of the gate, a strong showing for Air Force going into that first 50 meters. But SOCOM out of nowhere on the back row, SOCOM leading the charge. Behind them, Army, and surprising Navy way back now battling for bronze medal position on this. Air Force getting the nudge on that. 30 seconds, not a lot of time to make up. SOCOM delivering a massive blow right now, maintaining an incredible pace. Very, very hard to match. Army just behind. Can Air Force get into silver medal position? Big surprise. Navy on this one, sliding back outside the bubble.
SOCOM in the lead for the gold right now. SOCOM trying to grab the gold. Army sitting in the silver. Air Force for the bronze. Here we go. SOCOM with the win on that one. Army will take second. And the Air Force will end up in that third spot. Navy 4th, Marine Corps 5. Wow.
Like a shot of lightning. You can see the elation. So justifiable. They earned it. And I'll tell you what, based on performances throughout in the earlier rounds, a big surprise for SOCOM. Great showing. And a chance to rest. Great showing from Air Force as well. Really finding the niche, but what a great back and forth.
Yeah, you got to like that SOCOM, kind of like the silent assassins in the back, just kind of sitting there in the back, no one paying a lot of attention to them, and they come out and they just did it in a big way, took the big win there. Army solid also in that back row next to SOCOM, ends up in that second spot. Air Force fighting pretty darn hard in that number 3 spot.
Yeah, and I think
Navy 4 and Marine Corps 5.
I was going to say, Brad, I think the pictures really tell the story of just how much this takes out of you. These athletes in top shape, and even with that, they come and to go through that level of what you have to bring to find the top spot here. It just takes everything you have.
So congratulations to all the teams. We appreciate the hard work out there. Marine Corps 5th place on that one. They're going to finish up 4th for the Navy, 3rd for the Air Force, 2nd place for the Army, and taking the big win, SOCOM on that one. And we'll have one more team event to go, and that will wrap up your rowing for the Warrior Games 2023 version. We're going to check in with Tina Dixon in a little bit, see if she can catch up with some of those members of SOCOM, that dominating SOCOM team. And our next and final race will contain all 5 again. We'll have Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, SOCOM, and Army all balloted out, 4 per team.
And Tina always does such a great job being the Scoop McGavin out there, getting all the good stories.
Scoop McGavin.
And
I like
she's
that.
really, especially this week, really peeling back these stories of hope and resilience and determination, getting to know these athletes better. It's incredible to watch them just excel at the sport, but to hear a little bit from their background and their story. And
you know what, let's, instead of us yapping about it, why don't we just send it down to her right now and let her kind of handle things. We'll send it down, 3rd member of our team, Tina Dixon, standing by with Team SOCOM. Tina.
Oh, yeah. Team SOCOM, although they were in the corner, they put on a tough race. Harley, I want to go with you. You guys, I've been watching you throughout the week. This is the 5th day of 10, and you just continue to perform. What has today been like for you?
Really exhausting, but worth it. I think that we did really good.
Yeah, you guys have won medals. Ivan, you won a medal earlier today. I'm going to sneak in here too. Just the camaraderie and the teamwork of SOCOM. How do you describe that?
So for us, come from smaller units, smaller teams, so we build cohesion really quickly and tightly. So bringing us together, we already have that ability to come together, become brothers and sisters, and push and motivate each other and sacrifice for each other. That's what it's about in SOCOM, is what are you willing to do for those to your left and right? And I'll do anything for these guys.
Yeah, and we had, the individual events. So to do a team event, I mean, is that just icing on the cake for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. Just to, for us to get together and push and motivate each other to go hard and fast and just win. That's what it's about, is just working together as a team, coming together as a family, push to win.
I don't know if you guys can hear it. It is so loud out here. The fans and the crowd and the teams are just going crazy. It's been great.
It's so awesome. Thank you so much, Tina Dixon, catching up with SOCOM down there in the mix. And wow, what a great competition for them. And now the final team race. You got to leave it all behind now.
100%. I love hearing those words and talking about cohesion. It's so great That's exactly what I was talking about. When you get to know these athletes and hear about their journey and how much this means, the team component, and knowing that you're competing alongside people that kind of know your story, and some have very similar stories.
Exactly.
Their journey through the different branches, but this is going to be the last battle on the rowing court of play, if you will, and I expect, a battle royale between Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, SOCOM, and Army.
Well, just taking a look at the Marine Corps side of them, there's some heavy hitters over there on the Marine Corps side. That is for sure. And taking a look at Air Force, looking pretty solid. We'll see how Navy does with this one, too, as well. All 5 here. I see Williams over there for SOCOM. He'll be rowing in this one.
And hands down, the most spirited rowing fan base I've ever seen. They're really coming out in force.
Yeah, when I heard we were going to be on the base, the naval base, I was wondering, well, what kind of crowds are we going to have? But there's been a lot of friends and family and a lot of people on the base coming out here and supporting and showing up every day, supporting these Warriors.
Well, clearly, based on the success of the last match, a lot of focus on SOCOM right now. But as we look at the rest of the field, we saw Moses Nebraska there. Also Corbett, who grabbed the silver medal in the last battle. Here we'll be rowing for Air Force. Air Force, a strong team, but we've seen the fatigues start to set in for some of these athletes after multiple days of competition in all disciplines, and then back-to-back rowing for today.
Well, looking at the strength now, we've kind of learned a little bit about each of these athletes over the 5 days, and if I look at this field here, I look at this and I feel like Team Air Force on this one definitely favored to podium. I feel like with Jackson Williams up there on SOCOM, they're looking like a good chance for SOCOM to be on the podium, and I think Marine Corps too as well.
Yeah,
the Army's going to have a tough time, and I think Navy's going to have a tough time in this one, battling against some of these Warriors.
Well, just the roster alone on the Air Force team, though, you have Vermeer, you have Corbett, you've got, they've already found success, so if they can build on that, if the strength component is still there, I know they're all mentally strong.
So just breaking them down for you right now, the Air Force team that we have been looking at, that is Eric Corbett, Paul Vermeer, Chris Farrell, Moses Nebraska.
Yeah,
they are representing on the Air Force side of things.
And talked to Nebraska after the last matchup, and he just said, "Yeah, I was a little dehydrated." He's been a busy guy the past couple of days.
Oh yeah.
It mentioned, this whole team right here, 3 of them defending gold. I should say, came into this year defending gold medalist for wheelchair rugby, and went back to back. Won the gold medal yesterday in a highly, highly contested match up against Navy.
So Marine Corps, we've got Michael Scott in this one, Xavier Cardona, Yes, Colin Amon, the Navy team, Maxwell Oklu, Eric Cruz, Esel Rama, Mia Yuvienko, and on the Team Army, Timmy Capps, Dalton Napagadaka, Jeffrey Jones, and Sean Lee.
Your team is represented by one boat on the screen with the branch name on it.
Tony Smith, Jackson Williams, Zach Polega, great over there on SOCOM.
Just the
1 minute on the clock.
Essence of the team component in this discipline.
Here we
So
go.
great to see these guys come together. I think that the eye focus says it all.
We are rowing.
Okay. Eyes on the screen as we see SOCOM again really blasting out front. Air Force trying to stay in step. SOCOM, unbelievable pace. Now 45 seconds in. Just trying to stay. There is Air Force just behind. Can Air Force catch up? The Marine Corps in bronze medal position. And you can see SOCOM. Unbelievable. The way that they're maintaining, staying at that speed. Such an incredible clip. And for Air Force, not a lot of time to catch up. They're going to have to dig way deeper at this point. Silver medal right now for the moment for Air Force.
Oh my goodness, here we go, the final stretch. 11 seconds to go. SOCOM sitting in the gold medal. Air Force sitting in silver. The Marine Corps bringing up third for the bronze. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Time's going to wind down. The winner is going to be SOCOM with the gold, Air Force the silver, and the Marine Corps with the bronze.
What and where did SOCOM get possessed with? That was such an amazing performance. The speed that they blasted off the line and maintained, they did not slow up for one bit. If you were watching that full 60 seconds. Wow. Full throttle from start to finish. Incredible performance.
I had done a little writing before we started at my top three, and I was looking at Air Force number 1, SOCOM number 2, Marine Corps number 3, but all three of those were on the podium right there. But Air Force ends up with the silver, SOCOM with the gold, and the Marine Corps with the bronze.
And you have to give credit to Air Force. I mean, there was a moment they started to increase their pace and started to catch SOCOM's ever so slightly, and we had the benefit of having them. They were rowing right in front of us. You could almost feel the exhale on every pull, that drive, and then that coming in with the finish, and then pulling it right back up to the catch. I mean, it was beautiful technique, but I'm still just a little just slack-jawed on SOCOM's ability to put together such a crazy speed.
And you got to look, too. SOCOM did not race in the first race, but only raced in the last two. And the races that they did win, they were perfect. Gold. First place in that second race, and gold again. So 2 golds for SOCOM out of 2. Not bad odds. So it's been a great day here. TOD Warrior Games, Naval Air Station, North Island, Coronado Peninsula. Day 5 of 10. We'll send Tina Dixon down there, see if we can get a word. With SOCOM. When I saw Williams over there sitting in SOCOM, and you look over there, and they had Williams over there, and they also had Pelega over there, and those two guys definitely have been getting on the podium.
Well, they showed us earlier what they had in the reserve, and they were able to come back on both the 4 minute and the 1 minute. Knew they were contenders, but as a team component, that's really what I loved about this format. You get to see those other aspects of the team, because all their pulls are channeled into the same team.
100%. And so SOCOM on that one. We'll try and get a word with them here in just a moment. Don't forget, tomorrow, join us 8 a.m. for archery. We'll kick off tomorrow for the Warrior Games. We'll have archery Thursday and Friday, both at 8 a.m. So let's go check in with Tina Dixon standing by with the dominating Team SOCOM. Tina, take it away.
Yeah, that's right. Team SOCOM does it again. And each one of these warriors and athletes have been just showing their skills throughout the day, winning medals. Tony, from start to finish, you just gave it your all there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a new event this year, and having a team aspect, such an individual sport, like, we can't ask for a better outcome, and event, to just to build the camaraderie and, kind of define what this whole thing's for. And it's so much better, like, knowing you have to push for not just yourself, but the other 3 guys rowing. So this is awesome. And, kind of a last-minute throw together. We didn't know what was going on, really, but they just said get on the rower and row as hard as you can for a minute, and we did it. So.
And it paid off, and it's been so fun, too, to just watch the reaction on your faces. Jackson, how would you just sum up today from this morning to now?
It's been a great day. Like, weather's been beautiful. Competition's been great. Just the atmosphere is perfect. So
it truly was great to be a part of it. Congrats, you guys. Brad, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, so great to hear from Tony Smith there and the rest of the SOCOM team. Like I said, I'm still a little slack-jawed. I mean, that was just, sheer dominance. When you look at the distance and what they were able to separate from the rest of the pack, that is a dominating performance where it's just, there's no question. They earned it. That wasn't a gimme by any chance.
No, not at all. Not at all. SOCOM deserved exactly what they got today, and they've been kind of like, talking to Tiny, one of the members of Team SOCOM, he said they've kind of just been under the radar, so to speak, and people don't count them in the main conversations, but SOCOM has proven
and you would expect maybe Air Force to know how to fly low and avoid the radar, but no.
It was the
innocuous.
Exactly.
It was the innocuous SOCOM. See, it's never too late for dad jokes.
Insert dad joke here. I think.
Okay.
Well, it's been amazing. I'll tell you what a great time. Final thoughts on today's competition, Pat?
Well, I mean, my immediate takeaway was how quickly you became a convert and realized, wow, this is you were engaged from the get-go, and I really loved the team component. Seeing how everyone competed individually, and then seeing the camaraderie and how they worked together, and the smiles and the high fives. Just, I mean, that's really at this event's essence. It is the au jus, the backbone.
The au jus.
Yeah.
And you're 100% correct. I mean, talking to you this morning at breakfast before we even got here, I didn't know a lot going into rowing, and I mean, I didn't know anything basically. And you told me a couple things and told me some of the exciting stuff. And then we got here and got to witness it live. I mean, I'm won over. I'm looking forward to announcing more rowing events in the future.
Good to hear. And we got more events coming up later today as well.
We do. We got wheelchair basketball coming up today. So that's going to be the other one that we do later today. And then tomorrow morning, archery will take center stage. We'll be doing that. We'll put an apple on Pat's head and shoot that off later.
Don't for the defending champ, don't say they have a bullseye on their back. That's just to try to stay away from that. But then,
leave that joke.
When you're at archery,
that's a huge dad joke.
Yeah, it's massive. I that's why I set you up. There you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being part of it. Wheelchair basketball. That's coming up tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. West Coast time. Tune in for archery. On behalf of Tina Dixon, Pat Purnell, I'm Brad J. Enjoy some of the highlights of the action that you just witnessed. And we'll say good night right here from San Diego, California. Keep it classy. See ya.